Imagine you're sitting on the runway, maybe somewhere like Denver, high elevation, or perhaps taking off from a really hot, sticky airfield like Singapore. You've done all your checks, everything seems fine, but the aircraft just, well, it feels sluggish.
Yeah, heavy.
Hmm.
Like it doesn't quite want to leap into the air.
Exactly. The engine doesn't seem to have its usual punch, and you're just eating up runway much more than you would on a, standard sort of day.
Yeah.
What's going on there? What's this invisible force holding you back?
That feeling, that performance difference, it often comes down to something you can't see or touch the air itself. Specifically, its density.
Air density. Okay, yeah. It's one of those really fundamental things in aviation, isn't it? It affects, well, pretty much everything. The lift from your wings, the thrust from the engines.
Absolutely critical for understanding how your plane's going to perform, for flight planning, and, crucially for a lot of you listening, absolutely essential for getting through those ATPL theory exams.
And that's exactly what this deep dive is about today. We're digging into some key source material, a text called Atmospheric Density in Aircraft Operations, to really unpack what air density actually is, what causes it to change, and maybe most importantly, why those changes matter so much when you're flying.
We're aiming to cut through some of the complexity, pull out the really essential stuff from the source, explain it clearly, and kind of connect the dots for you.
Right, so you understand not just the rules, but the why behind them, why it matters for you as a pilot. Our goal here is to give you that solid foundation on density that you absolutely need for the ATPL exams, and frankly, for safe flying day to day.
We know you're juggling a massive amount of information for these exams, so hopefully we can make this bit about density really clear, maybe even a bit interesting.
Let's give it a shot. Whether you're just starting on this topic or reviewing for the test, let's get into it and demystify air density.
Sounds good. Where should we start? The basic definition.
Yeah, let's start right there. The source material gives us the absolute fundamental definition. What is density?
Okay, so the source defines it very simply. Mass per unit volume.
Mass per unit volume. Okay, that's the physics definition. How can we make that a bit more intuitive when we're talking about air?
Think of it like this. Imagine you have a box, say a perfectly square box, 1 meter on each side, a cubic meter. Air density is basically about how much stuff, how many air molecules, what mass of air you can cram into that box.
Okay.
If you can pack a whole lot of air molecules into that 1 cubic meter, the air is dense. If there are fewer molecules floating around in that same size box, the air is less dense. Sometimes we call it thinner air.
Got it. So high density means lots of air mass squeezed into a space. Low density means the air is thin, less mass in the same space. It's about how kind of thick or substantial the air feels to the aircraft.
That's a good way to put it. And the source material points out there are a few different ways we measure or express density, and it's useful to know all of them.
All right, what are they?
Well, first, you've got the direct absolute measure. Grams per cubic meter, or GMO. That gives you the actual physical mass of the air inside 1 cubic meter under whatever the current conditions are, so a hard number.
Okay, the straight physics measurement. Grams per cubic meter. What's next?
Next up is percentage of standard surface density. This is often called relative density.
Relative density. So relative to what?
Relative to a standard baseline. Specifically, the density of air under standard atmospheric conditions at sea level. You know, the conditions defined in the International Standard Atmosphere, or ISA.
ISA. That theoretical atmosphere we use as a benchmark, with standard temperatures and pressures at different altitudes. So if someone says the density is, say, 90% of standard?
It means the air is currently 10% less dense than the ISA model says it should be at sea level. It gives you a quick comparison, a feel for how much thinner or denser the air is compared to that standard sea level condition. Very useful for seeing deviations.
Okay, makes sense. Absolute density in GMU, relative density is a percentage. And the third way...
I get the feeling this one's particularly important for us pilots.
Oh, absolutely. This is a big one. Density altitude. This concept directly links air density to how your aircraft is actually going to perform.
Density altitude. Okay, define that for us.
Density altitude is the altitude in the...
All right. Many thanks for listening to this free part of the ATPL Theory podcast. If you want to continue learning and access the full comprehensive guide, go to my Patreon at patreon.com/ATPL Theory or my Hero at herohero.co/ATPL. That is patreon.com/ATPL Theory or herohero.co/ATPL. Wishing you all the best